What's up people, it's me Wasabi and I'm back with another review. Now this isn't just another keyboard release, this is the keyboard that defined the category, getting its first major update in years. So the big question is, does the V2 pre-built meaningfully move the meta forward, or is it just another refined 68G? And my answer is yes. And you also notice that the 0 and 9 keys in a lot of my footage are in the wrong place, and that is because I only realized after I shot 90% of my footage, so yeah, I let out the longest sigh in my life. Anyway, as always with the content on my channel, these are my thoughts, personal opinions, and experiences with the product. Now first, let's take a look at what's inside the box. You got a Wooting 60HE V2, a USB-C to USB-C 2.0 cable that is 2 meters long, USB-C to USB-A converter, EPDM dampening foam layer, strap attachment screws, a Wooting strap to complement the color of your choice, spare silicone plugs, spare PCBA screws, Wooting switch and keycap puller, a module puller, this is new, 3 spare lacquer thickened switches, an attachment piece for you to hook on the strap to your keyboard. You have a decorative no strap piece as well for a clean look, and of course the classic Wooting touch, a postcard. So that's pretty much all that's included inside the box. Now before we go any further, let's manage some expectations here real quick. I've been using the 60HE V1 for a very long time now, reviewed some other keyboards along the way, but everyone has their favorites and it's safe to say that the V1 was mine. So plenty of experience using the 60HE V1, and I'll say that the 60HE V2 pre-built version has improvements that's gonna make a lot of OG 60HE fans happy. For me, it sure did. But of course, for OG founders and early users of the V1, the wow factor of using rapid trigger and adjustable actuation for the first time is obviously not going to be surprising, so keep that in mind. Getting right into it, improvements from V1 to V2, typing feel and sound experience is a big step up. You got a sound dampening and mounting design upgrade. It's more characteristic, cleaner, and less hollowness. It is a quality of life jump. A new and improved case coating that is very resistant to a lot of stuff. They really put a lot of effort into it. A new optional split spacebar layout, which is my favorite thing about this V2. You also got true 8kHz polling, so this little 60HE is now caught up with the 80HE in terms of technical performance. And you get lacquer thickened switches, which are top tier magnetic switches pre-installed. Now in terms of availability, the pre-built aluminum case version will be launching first. Both the classic and split spacebar versions for NC and ISO layouts will be available in 2 colorways, just black and bright silver. Both are awesome choices. For now, they have put the white version on hold, and for the plastic version, that one will ship in April. The exterior design, at a glance, the 60HE V2 looks almost identical to the original. The 60HE is an iconic design with the signature strap, black and yellow cable, same as before. I do appreciate that they stuck with this look because it means something. It is instantly recognizable as the keyboard that changed the industry, and that is not something that you can say about many keyboards. The one that I have here is the black colorway, and it's an anodized aluminum case, which is the first time that Wooting is doing something like this for their classic style. The finish feels premium, it looks refined, and apparently it's also super scratch and wear resistant as well as sweat resistant. They really are committed to making this a keyboard that can stand the test of time for you to enjoy. Also, right off the box, every part feels very well put together as it should. Something that always bugs me about aluminum cases is how easily the coating gets scratched. And it is kind of ironic, you buy a metal case that is known to be durable, but you need to be so careful not to scratch it. But on the 60HE V2, the coating is on another level. Now I don't have the 80HE zinc alloy case, but the scratch resistance for this one is a lot better than anything I've used before. It's not indestructible, but you get some peace of mind when you handle it. And if you've been keeping up with Wooting's video updates and live streams on alternate Fridays, you know that they put quite a lot of effort into this new coating. It may seem like a small thing, but honestly, it is a big selling point to me as a gamer. And you know, it being so durable, it can hold its value way longer than other HE keyboards with an aluminum case. So this black version comes with the classic black and yellow strap and the black and yellow cable to match the black keycaps. And for the silver colorway, you get a white and yellow strap and a white and yellow cable to match the white set of keycaps. This new case has a strap mounting system, so you can now mount the strap on either side, both sides if you like, or none at all, which which is cool to see. I know some people are not a fan of the strap, so if you prefer a cleaner look, you can attach the seamless side covers instead. And probably the most significant thing that sets this apart from the V1 visually is the split spacebar. This one is a unique three-way split, which I'll talk more about later. I think it looks super good, and they have the classic spacebar option as well if that is what you prefer. The sound dampening, TLDR, this is a great sounding stock HE keyboard, but let's break it down real quick. FR4 switch plate. The switch plate strikes a nice balance between firmness and flex. It's a great choice that tunes this towards a gaming focused keyboard feel. Then you got a HD pour-on sandwich. As you can see, it's got a HD pour-on core surrounded by silicone. I haven't seen anything quite like this before. So this design absorbs vibrations and lowers the pitch for a deeper sound as well, giving the board a warmer, smoother sound overall. This is a friction fit mount, so the module is held in the case without any screws, which reduces vibrations and resonance while keeping the sound clean and deep. And it also helps to even out the sound experience across the board. You know, I just love how easy it makes this assembly. I've been using this mounting style since I reviewed the Optimum collab case. On this one, it feels tighter, and I think it's safe to say that this is my favorite way to mount a module. I mean, just look at that. This is such a clever and effective design. Under the friction fit layer is a PET film that dampens high-pitched sounds and shapes the acoustics into a smoother, more marbly tone. It's a small touch, but it makes a noticeable difference in the board's overall sound profile. And then you have bottom case dampening. By default, you get the silicone block inside, but Wooting also includes an EPDM foam in the box for you to swap with that. The EPDM layer gives a louder, deeper tone compared to silicone. It produces a sound profile that's closer to Thoki, which with my time trying out the different configurations, I think it's safe to say that EPDM would be the most popular choice. Or if you want the most open and natural sound, you can do without both and leave the bottom case empty. For the 60HE V2, it comes with 1.5mm thick double-shot PBT backlit keycaps. If you go for the black case, you get the black keycaps, and for the silver case, it comes with the white set. These have a nice textured feel. Even though I have a couple of third-party keycap sets, these standard keycaps from Wooting are my favorite for gaming. And that is just because of how they feel against the skin on my fingers. Aside from that, the Legends let RGB shine through cleanly, and since they are PBT, they won't fade or develop shine so quickly. Lacquer thickened switches are the latest from Wooting, and it is the default switch in the pre-built options. They have a full 4mm travel with a closed bottom housing, giving them a deeper and more solid sound profile compared to the Lacquer V2s, with a 22mm spring that provides a smooth yet predictable weight buildup. Overall, I feel these switches are very well balanced. They're great for both typing and gaming. Having lacquer thickens as the default switch for a pre-built keyboard is great value. It's such a good switch. I've been using a set in my 60HE V1, and I'd say it really did change the typing experience rather significantly. Having it in the V2 pre-built, I am quite sure a majority of people would enjoy typing on this keyboard very much. Now here's a quick sound test to give you a better idea of how this keyboard sounds. Typing on the Wooting 60HE V2 feels super nice for a Hall effect keyboard. It's not overly stiff or bouncy. The friction fit mounting system holds everything snugly in place. And like I said earlier in the video, it gives you a stable and consistent typing feel across the board. I'd say the typing feels firm, which in my opinion is ideal for gaming, but not to the point where it's uncomfortable for all-day typing. And of course, with the Keycaps switches, typing feels smooth and consistent and just such a joy to type on. Sound-wise, depending on the bass dampening you choose, but in general, it produces a clean, bold sound that isn't muffled. I say that because there are some keyboard builds, while the ideas behind the sound dampening design are interesting, some just overdo it and the sound loses its character. The V2, as you saw earlier, is very well thought out, and I think it sounds wonderful with Keycaps. So I'd say all the ingredients work well together. It's not a case of one thing overpowering another, and that is something that you can appreciate. With the launch of the new 60HE V2, Wooting is also introducing a new wrist rest. It's sold separately and it's a nice accessory to consider. Props your hand up just enough and reduces wrist tension like all other wrist rests, but here is the part that I love. They added this super simple, super clever piece of design called the bridge. It basically locks the wrist rest and the keyboard together and it stays out of sight. So no sliding around, no weird gaps, and it even works with the V1 if you're still using the original case. You can also remove the bridge and use the wrist rest with pretty much any 60% keyboard. And just a quick heads up, the 60HE V2 has a fixed 6-degree typing angle. So the split spacebar on the 60HE V2 is split into 3 parts. From left to right, 2.75U, 1.25U, and 2.25U. For this particular arrangement, apparently there are many reasons, but the two that are the most obvious. First is to reduce accidental presses of the middle key while typing or gaming. And second, it uses common keycap sizes that you can find in a keycap set. Now, you might have noticed other HE keyboards or standalone modules with a similar looking split spacebar, and other brands have been very quick to try and get ahead of the 60HE V2 release. But you guys gotta trust me, it is not the same thing. And I don't think many people will realize this little detail. Most boards with this sort of split will put the 2.25U on the left instead of the 2.75. And the problem is that many users experience their left thumb hitting the middle key by accident, which is the last thing that you want to happen in game. So basically, Wooting flipped the layout so the larger piece is on the left, and in practice, the difference is pretty obvious. It also just feels natural this way, which is a deal maker for me. You won't need to adjust much, or if not at all, if you're coming from a regular spacebar. So if you plan to get a HE keyboard with a split spacebar from another brand, that is perfectly alright, but just bear in mind the arrangement of the split. For me, this is the only split spacebar that I would use because the others just get annoying, and I'm damn sure that I will chuck it aside over time if that was the case. And now, obviously, aside from typing, there are quite a few things you can do with this split spacebar. For example, if pressing Ctrl for crouch has ever felt awkward, for me it always does, I can now have both jump and crouch keys accessible with my thumb. This also means that my pinky can remain on the shift key at all times. For some people, crouching with your thumb could be more comfortable when mixing strafing and crouching in movements. And by doing it this way, the left side of your hand does not have to be strained when you pull back your pinky finger. So on the Wooting website, they gave a basic example of Jet's dash in Valorant assigned to the split spacebar from the default keybinds. The main point of that example is to let you know that for any game, you can assign crucial abilities or actions to the split spacebar so that your fingers on the WASD cluster, which is basically your in-game movement, never gets interrupted. Another example, the split spacebar allows you to use the 60% layout more efficiently with one hand. For instance, here I am in Battlefield 6. Changing seats with a 60% layout has never been efficient. Here I have set the middle spacebar as a secondary function key, so now I can access the F roll all while keeping my right hand on the mouse. So middle spacebar 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Before this, I'd have to take my hand off the mouse, hold down function on the bottom right, and press the number keys. Of course, there are other ways that you can do this too, like using mod tab or dynamic keystroke on the number row. But for me, I just feel better keeping the F keys locked behind the function layer. Another example that I have is if you ever use a mouse without the side buttons, button 4 and 5, you can make use of the split spacebar instead. I don't have that kind of mouse, but you can imagine. These are just a few simple examples. The split spacebar is a highly individual feature that allows you to streamline your gameplay by optimizing your inputs. As a gamer, my favorite part is that I can set it up for immediate ergonomic benefits. benefit. Specifically relieve the strain on the left side of my hand, which I feel whenever I pull back my pinky. So then my index, middle, ring, and pinky fingers are never strained and are always ready to engage WASD and shift when I am gaming, which feels great for me. So basically, I'm moving more responsibilities to the side of my thumb. And the thumb is a part that we naturally have incredible control over. You know, typing on your phone, gaming on controller thumbsticks, spreading positivity. And this is fantastic because since forever, my thumb has only had one job to do on the keyboard. So to me, this particular split spacebar layout is a tool that allows for meaningful gains in speed, efficiency, and comfort. And if used well, it's probably more effective than 10 MCUs on a PCB module or, I don't know, 0.0001 mm sensitivity. I'm not saying that they shouldn't push the limits of tech. I believe every brand should. But what I'm saying is that for now, this makes a bigger impact. The lighting of the 60HE V2 is very good. Like a Keycaps Switches, let a good amount of light through the top housing and the diffuser. Colors are vibrant and at 100%, it is bright but not too harsh on the eyes. And of course, on Wootility, you got lots of color combinations and layering of effects that you can get creative with. The V2 is still a wired-only keyboard, and going from V1 to V2, it now has true 8K Hz polling. 8K Hz polling is enabled by default, but you can also change it to 1K polling on Wootility if you want to. And when you have Tekken mode on, this will turn the scan rate to 8000 Hz. So it scans and sends inputs in perfect sync. And for latency, it's about 0.125 milliseconds, which is what you get on the 80HE. So the 60HE V2 is super responsive with all the performance features you could ever need, but I cannot say that it's faster than what I've experienced before. It is just how I feel about a lot of the new keyboards today because they are all already so damn fast. But the best thing about a Wooting keyboard though is that there are many other things to enjoy that you can actually feel. Okay, software. What you're seeing here is Wootility V5.2.1 Beta, which by December, the stable version should be up and running with a standalone version that you can download. The update will allow you to set rapid trigger sensitivity down to 0.1 millimeters. It also introduces a switch selector for the most accurate calibration and analog curve, and device onboarding, which makes setting up your Wooting super simple. So what you've been seeing is me setting up a simple gaming profile, and something that I absolutely love about Wooting keyboards is how easy it is to share profiles. It works just like a crosshair code on Counter-Strike and Valorant. Just copy, paste, and you got it. Take Tanz's keyboard profile for example. He's been mainly using a Wooting 80HE, so not the right device, but it's got all the performance settings, so just copy the code and paste it in Wootility. He may have changed his settings like 50 times since I recorded this, but again, this is just an example of how easy it is to share profiles. Now for features like rapid trigger, adjustable actuation, and such, I'm not gonna explain and demo each one because if not, this video would be unbearably long. Wooting has a playlist for those features which explains each one in detail. I will add a link to it in the description below for your reference. Or even better, if you're on a computer, you can go to Wooting's website and try out the Wootility Demo mode where all set features are explained. I will add a link to that in the description below as well. Now I like Wooting and what they create, but today there are many options and many of them are good. So what is it that I like about the 60HE V2 and why does it sound like I'm glazing the hell out of it? Well, the first thing is Wootility, and it's great. It's so easy to use that, honestly speaking, as a reviewer, doing a segment to explain how to use Wootility feels super unnecessary. It is a software that explains itself so well and teaches the user about the features in a way that is short, sweet, and simple to understand. And with device onboarding, it simplifies things even further. The next thing is product support. You get a 2 to 4 year warranty based on the conditions and backward compatibility wherever possible. It is, in their words, creating the experience of keeping a Wooting keyboard as a long-term companion and not just a short-term purchase. The next thing is the typing experience for a pre-built keyboard is super good. Compared to the pre-built 60HE V1, it feels right to call this a V2. It feels absolutely wonderful to use this out of the box. I'd say very competitive against what many Hall effect keyboards offer today when it comes to the typing experience. Now, I love a good pre-built keyboard because when it comes to typing experiences, a pre-built is the original recipe, the original flavor that the brand has been cooking up and wants you to have a taste of, and this one is pretty damn delicious. And don't forget that this is a Wooting, so you can always mod to taste. And last but not least, the split spacebar is a great addition to the 60H EV2 design, and I can see it being a standard feature for gaming keyboards moving forward. I mean, as a gamer, something like this just makes sense, though its effectiveness depends a lot on the user. If you're not open to optimizing how you use your keyboard for speed and efficiency gains, then forget it. This feature would mean nothing. But you know, the same goes for analog features of a Hall effect gaming keyboard. So I'd say when it comes to the topic of gaming performance and how gamers perform, having this particular split spacebar design and arrangement is the most impactful feature to be introduced since analog features came about. Between the split spacebar and the classic spacebar, I know that at the end of the day, every user is different. Just because I enjoy it and adapt well and know how to make use of it does not mean that everyone will too. I'm doing this review from a gamer's perspective, someone who plays a lot of FPS, so don't let my excitement completely influence you to put your money down on the split option. For this, you really need to look at yourself, not literally, but you know, decide if you want to stick to what you are used to or if you want to try something new. I think new experiences are the best part about life, but yeah. Now, final thoughts and what do I think of its value? The 60H EV2 is obviously a significant investment, but it is without a doubt going to be the keyboard that viewers and reviewers will compare all others to and brands will try to copy. It delivers meaningful performance and it's got excellent software and features, exceptional build quality and materials, not forgetting the super resistant coating, innovative sound dampening and mounting design, great modding potential, typing is fantastic out of the box, and the brand and product support that is above and beyond. Also, Wooting is one of the only brands that consistently updates, fixes, and evolves their products long after launch. And that's why their keyboards age better than most tech peripherals. The V1 is still a super gaming keyboard, but if you have the budget for it, I'd say go for the V2. It is a very good keyboard, and I even ordered one as a gift for my brother's Christmas. Well, there goes the surprise. If you're not in a hurry to purchase a new gaming keyboard, I would suggest to consider saving up for Wooting instead of just buying whatever's on sale. And the reason is because a good quality keyboard like this will last you a very long time. Wooting's keyboards are the kind that, well, as an owner, I honestly never felt the urge to buy another keyboard, aside from reviewing keyboards on my channel. The Wooting 60H EV2 is what would be considered the new benchmark. Right now, to me, it is the most complete and fulfilling 60% Hall effect gaming keyboard that you can buy today. For those of you who have already ordered, I am excited for you guys to get your hands on it. And for those of you who are set on getting your first Wooting keyboard, I am excited for you as well. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. If you're gonna order anything from the Wooting store and would like to support my channel while you're at it, I've added my affiliate link in the description below. Your support helps me a lot and all earnings go right back into what I do here. So thank you so much again, and as always, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe, and I guess I'll see you in the next one.